kid's school has like their big parent gala or some sort of program dinner out. Nice thing happening on Saturday night. So Rachel's going solo, and my mother also watching kids, which was a fun time. And we're also having lunch tomorrow with other members of my family, my sister's who are in the area, so I'm proud of it. Yes. Shashan Barbara. Shashan Ruth. Oh yeah. And they've now gotten used to, not my kids, but there are some kids whose, let's just say their grandparents end up crafting shirts that say Bubby's summer camp, whatever it is. It's great. Yep, exactly. Shabbat Shalom. Nice to see you as well. We're doing a circle time. It's what happens when the FNL crew's not here. When the FNL crew's away, the rabbi will play. Yeah, we're going to be in the circle. Everyone's in the circle. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see if folks actually sit in the circle, or if they do what it's Helen, right? Helen and Susan. Okay, great. If they do what you guys do, which is what we all do, sit in our regular seats. I remember my first shul. It was an old kind of like not Baroque. It was like an old temple based on like the German style with like really large roof, and it's got like cavernous kind of sanctuary, absolutely beautiful, wonderful stained glass windows. And it was really too big for the congregation that was at that time, about 100 or so families by the time that I got there, a little bit less maybe. And for my installation, when it was about 40 or 50 people or so in this sanctuary that fits like 300 or so, they said to me, should we sit in our high holiday seats, which are like all the way in the back? And I'm like, no, come this way. You can sit next to me. That'd be great. Thank you. I mean, if you have some liquor in it, that'd be great. Bottled water is totally fine.
We both sit here swinging back.
Exactly. Oh, funny story. Cantor at one of my old shuls. This is on. Move that way. Nice. Yep, that's fine. course. Of course. Of course you do. Oh, I forgot a Siddur. You can take any of the other ones.
Yes. Of course. Because I'm a big foster. Listen.
She's the biggest.
True.
Of mockers.
I know I have a big tushy. I don't like that.
Oy, sorry. Not fun. Oh.
He started this week, that's 3 weeks ago.
Let's see.
They have an insurance for
All right, if I can ask everyone who is not sitting in the circle, you're doing the wrong thing. Not that wrong, but if you could please join us in the circle. We made enough space so you don't have to sit close to anyone if you really don't want to. But we'd love to bring you into the circle. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Well, with Denise, Angie, and David all out, our dad band is not here, so you just get me. In which case, as I said to a few, I said, if the FNL crew's away, the rabbi will play. And that's why we're in a circle. Who knows if you're going to like it or not, but hey, that's what I'm here for. Exactly. And in addition, I was actually planning on bringing this in for FNL as normal, but every time we've done FNL, I have been remiss that I had forgotten something that's been very, very important. The one piece of clothing, of wearing, that I had been wanting to wear every time we do FNL in this kind of spiritual way. And that is my deep dish kippah. That is what I wear when I'm trying to get into a certain kind of a mood. And so, welcome to the deep dish. We're going to begin with a tune in honor of the holiday of Tu B'Shvat, which we just celebrated this week. And by the way, I'm not going to I force you to sit in the circle. That's enough forcing for today. But if you would like, feel free to take an instrument if you would like to join in with that. This song is called Hashkedia Porachat, meaning the almond tree is blooming. And there will be an English part to it that I will hopefully not mess up, and you'll be able to join in with me. You also feel free to join the Hebrew if you know it. Hashkedia porachat v'shemesh pazorachat tziporim merosh kol gag mevasrot et bohechag Tu b'shvat higia chag ha'ilanot Tu b'shvat higia chag ha'ilanot. One more time. Hashkedia porachat v'shemesh pazorachat tziporim merosh kol gag mevasrot et bohechag Tu b'shvat higia chag la'ilanot Tu b'shvat higia chag ha'ilanot. Here's the English. The almond tree will blossom. The sun above is awesome. The birds up on the rooftops all day, singing this song about this holiday. Tu b'shvat higia chag ha'ilanot. Tu Bishvat Higia Chag HaIlanot. You may hear that song 1, 2, 10 more times over the course of tonight. We'll see. We're going to begin first with Shalom Aleichem. It is a song that welcomes in Shabbat, and almost as a way to say that each one of us is one of the angels that comes in to celebrate Shabbat together. We're making Shabbat as the angels of Shabbat. If you feel comfortable getting permission from the folks next to you, feel free to put your arms around them and sway. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi, page 5. Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch. Let's speed it up now. Say Tchem l'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachi HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch. Keep it going with Lechu Neranena on page 11. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena Ladonai. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzur Ishenu, Nekadma Fana Betoda. Naria, Naria, Letzur Ishenu, Bizmirot Naria Lo. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena Ladonai. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena Ladonai. Page 13 and Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Pasru miyom leyom Yeshuato, Sapru vagoyim kevodo bechol ha'amim nifleotav. Ay 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 ki gadol Adonai umhulal me'od norahu al kol Elohim. Ay 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 ki kol Elohe ha'amim elilim v'Adonai shamayim asa hod v'hadar lefanav oz v'tiferet b'mitasho havu l'Adonai mishpechot amim havu l'Adonai kavod va'od. Ay 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 havu l'Adonai kevod shemo tseu mincha uva'u lechatzrotav. Let's freestyle. Yanai na nai nai, yanai na nai nai, yanai na nai nai, yanai yanai, yanai na nai nai. I call that the rabbi medley. You're just going through, and then all of a sudden he ends it with a dance. We're going to slow it down now with Ana Bechoach that can be found on page 22. Ana Bechoach Bechoach Gedulat Yemincha Yemincha Tatir Serura Kabel Rinatamcha Sagavenu Taharenu Nora from the beginning. Ana Bechoach Bechoach Gedulat Yemincha Yemincha Tatir Tserura Kabel Rinatamcha Sagvenu Taharenu Nora. Page 20 that they know, or is your most favorite Lechadodi traditional tune? Anyone? Because you know that you're going to get in trouble with somebody else who does not think that's the most traditional tune. Anyone? Lechadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor bedibur echad hishmi anu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem multiferet u'shemo echad l'shem multiferet v'litehila lechadodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha ki mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat techila, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela, mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzei mitocha hafecha, Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha, vehu yachamol alayichem la, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. This past week, Rachel and I went out to get a drink, and there was, at that bar, they had a special piano thing in which they only took requests. So this is the Lecha Dodi request band. Anybody else have a traditional tune that they would like to use? It's got to be traditional. It's got to be that old religious feeling. Anyone? A traditional tune. Yeah. How about this? Lecha dodi likrat kala. Perfect. Here we go. Oh, that's okay. Lekabela lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Top of 24. Hitna ari meyafar kumi. Leave shibidei tifartech ami al yad ben yishai betalachmi korva el nafshi ge'ala lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva ore, kumi ori, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lo tevoshi ve'lo tikalmi. Matish tochachi umatehemi pach yechesu aniye ami venivneta ir altila lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. This final tune on page 25 is not a traditional tune for Lecha dodi, but you did just hear it a few minutes ago. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Vehayu limshisa shosayich verachaku kol mevalayich yasisalayich Elohayich kimsos chatan al kala lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Yaminu smoti frotzi ve'et Adonai ta'aritzi aliyarish ben parti venismecha venagila lecha dodi likrakala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrakala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrakala penei Shabbat nekabela. Let's rise to greet the Shabbat Queen. Boi v'shalom atzeret bala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei am segula boi chala lecha dodi likakala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likakala penei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likakala penei Shabbat nekabela. I had no idea if that was going to work. And it was okay, I guess. All right, we'll continue now with a psalm for Shabbat to be found on page 27. Do I have a volunteer to lead us responsively in the English on the left-hand side of the page? Anyone? Barbara, please. Page 27. Yep. Finger the lute, pluck the harp, let the sound of the lyre rise up. How wonderful are your works, Adonai, how subtle your designs. But you, Adonai, are exalted for all time. Top of 28. As a wild bull raises up its horn, you raised my head high, anointed it with fresh oil. The righteous flourish like the date palm, thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai. They flourish in our God's courtyards. Right-hand side of the page at the red arrow, Tzadik Katamar. You can also see the transliteration on the bottom of 28 in the red. Tzadik Katamar Ifrach Ke'erez Balvanon Yiskeh Shetulim Beveit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenuvun Beseva Deshenim Vera'ananim Yehiyu Lehagid Ki Yashar Adonai Tsuri Velo Avlatabo. Page 29 in Sound Devotion. Mikolot Mayim Rabim Adirim Mishpirei Yaham Adir Bamarom Adonai Erotecha Nemnu Me'od Levetecha Na'ava Kodesh Adonai Le'orech Yamim. All those in mourning or observing your side, please rise if you are able. Page 30 in Hebrew or English transliteration. Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash shemeh rabba amen. Yomad yidrach v'yitzei yamalik malchutzei. Chaye kon v'yomei kon v'chaye k'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'bizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach olam ulomei olmaya. Yitzvarach v'yishtabach v'yitzpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitznaseh. V'yitzadar v'yitzaleh v'yitzalal. Shemei v'kusha v'brichut. Le'ela min kol verchatza v'shiratza. Shush v'chatza v'nechamatza. Damiran v'yolma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Obsess shalom b'mromav. Uya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone. So, we're celebrating this week Tu B'Shvat, which is the birthday of the trees. Why are we celebrating it in the cold dead of winter? You ever wonder that? It's spring in Israel, true. But why is Tu B'Shvat now in the dead of winter, at least in our experience? Fair enough. So I want to answer that question with a particular story that comes from the Talmud, Masechet Ta'anit. And it's a story known about a man named Honi the Circle Maker. Honi the Circle Maker was a great sage. And many people would come to him asking him to perform miracles such as making it rain. So it's appropriate talking about him with a holiday related to nature. But this is a story about Honi and a carob tree. So the story goes like this. Honi the Circle Man was walking along the way and he found a man, let's call him Shalom. Okay, Shalom. And he found Shalom planting a carob tree. So Honi went to Shalom and said, how long is it going to take to grow until it bears fruit? And Shalom said, 70 years. Honi said, but you won't wait to experience the fruit. And Shalom replied, I am planting it so that my children and my children's children will be able to reap the fruit. And I'm raising that story because perhaps the reason why we celebrate Tu B'Shvat in the dead of winter is to teach us that the hard work of caring for trees and of nature around us is necessary even when we personally do not reap the benefits of that care, because we're leaving it for future generations. Well, I don't know about you, but that's a nice story. But are we really willing to do the hard work of planting trees, of doing all that physical labor without any expectation of reaping the benefit of it ourselves? I mean, if I'm going to deal with a tree, I want some fruit out of it. I need to get some sort of sustenance. And so I want you to compare the story of Honi and Shalom with another story, that comparing the story of a great Jewish sage in the Talmud to a great Jewish entrepreneur in America by the name of Mayor Guggenheim. Yes, that Guggenheim of the Guggenheim Museum of Modern Art in New York City. Mayer was a Swiss Jewish immigrant of German descent, and he arrived in Philadelphia as an ambitious teenager in 1848, peddling household goods to Pennsylvania housewives. That's not my word. That was the word used back then. And through his hard work, He turned peddling household goods into inventing household goods like stove polish to actually clean your stoves. And then he turned inventing goods into importing goods. And finally, importing goods into owning resources in the smelting and mining businesses. It's the quintessential American story of immigrants coming over from Europe. That if you work hard enough, you will succeed. If you work hard enough, you will enjoy the fruits of your labor. So my question for you tonight on Tu B'Shvat, as we celebrate here in the cold dead of winter, which story resonates more with you? Shalom's willingness to bear the labor but not the fruit? Or Guggenheim's ambition to go from rags to riches? So, as you contemplate that question, you can tell us later, maybe during dinner, about what your thoughts are. But as you contemplate that question, let me throw something else into the mix. That the quintessential American story that if you work hard enough, you will enjoy the fruit, is the maximum behind what's known as hustle culture. What is hustle culture? Well, hustle culture is basically the idea that in order to get ahead, you have to work as hard as possible. And then once you think you work as hard as possible, you work harder still. Or to put it another way, that hustle culture ideology says that people are overworking not because they're economically driven to, but simply because this is the way that go-getters get what they want. In other words, obsession with work is what made Guggenheim, Guggenheim. It's what made the notorious workaholic Elon Musk, Elon Musk. And just as a side note, this also appears within the context of the rabbinate. I still remember a story of a I shouldn't say story. I was at a meeting with a rabbi. This was at camp and I was still in rabbinical school. He wanted to get all of the rabbinical students together to impart some wisdom, to share why it is that he was so successful in his rabbinate. Those were his words. And what he said to us is that the reason I'm so successful is because I am the hardest working rabbi in America. Yes, a rabbi actually said that. But there's actually been a retreat from hustle culture over the past few years. According to one executive coach who works with clients trying to get them out of that kind of lifestyle, that coach said that since COVID-19, people have started to reject hustle culture and pull back. They're no longer willing to do the work that doesn't matter to them. And they're setting boundaries between themselves and toxic narratives. And some stats actually bear that out. For instance, in 2022, everybody know Prudential, right? The insurance company? Well, according to one of their surveys of 2,000 U.S. workers, 70% of U.S. workers had prioritized or were considering prioritizing their personal lives over their jobs and career. 20% said they were willing to take pay cuts if it meant they could have a better life balance. And the truth is that I'm standing here today, well, sitting here today, but I wrote down standing. I'm sitting here today with all of you as a direct result of this culture change. COVID-19 showed me, in good ways and bad ways, that I could say no to work that did not matter and lean into work like what we just did here today. My time with all of you, the precious time that we had together, that I could lean into that work that does matter. And as a result, I am happier, I'm more productive, and more in touch with my passions, which include my time with you, include my time engaging with interfaith families, especially with my podcast, but with other different ways. and with my family and my friends, who I can in many ways just spend Shabbat and spend life together with them. And truly my sense of self. I'm happier with myself than I've ever been before. So you could probably tell me, you could probably tell which answer to that question before I have, about which one of those stories feels more important. But if you're still not convinced by me giving you my soul here, let me throw one more thing into the mix. That having the humility to know that whatever we accomplish in our lives is fleeting. And to make this point, I want to bring back the story of Honi and the carob tree. See, in the Talmud, after Honi heard Shalom's story, a great miracle happened. He fell asleep, and then a steep cliff surrounded him, covering him as he slumbered for 70 years. When he woke up, he saw someone taking fruits from the carob tree that he had seen in his mind just a second ago. Are you the man who planted the tree? No, said that man. I'm his grandson. So then Honi went to go see his grandchildren. He went to them and said, I am your grandfather, Honi. But they did not believe him. Honi then went into the house of learning and heard the teacher say, in the years of Honi the circle maker, he would come into the house of learning and resolve any questions the sages left unanswered. Honi came up and raised his hand and said, I am Honi. But no one believed him or paid him the proper respect. At that moment, Honi became very upset, prayed for mercy, and then died. This, Rabbi Yehuda says, is the source of the teaching, either friends or death, as one who has no friends is better off dead. Whatever we leave behind, no matter how great it may seem in our lifetime, that will disappear. Our relationships, our resources, our legacy, even the Guggenheims. Because despite having 10 sons, Mayer's descendants today no longer hold the prestige, power, or influence that their family once had. And despite having strong ties to Judaism at that time, no Guggenheim today identifies as Jewish. The fruit of our lives will dry up eventually, because the one truism of life is that we all go from dust to dust, ashes to ashes. And perhaps that is also why the story of the carob tree resonates with why Tu B'Shvat occurs in the middle of winter. Because it comes not only to separate the values of caring for trees and nature from reaping the benefits of its fruit, but to teach us that the fruit of our lives is the work of caring for trees and nature. That the fruit of life is the care and the work we put into our lives. That the fruit of our lives are the moments that we spend with one another. And so, on this Shabbat, on this beautiful holiday of Tu B'Shvat, as we think about caring for the world around us, let's care for the moments that we have. This moment right now. And the moments that we have with each other to spend together. Enjoy each experience. Enjoy the people that you surround yourself with. Live for this moment, and let's stop hustling to get to tomorrow's moment. Shabbat Shalom. We're now going to continue with the Baruch Hu. Please rise. Page 39. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaTorah. continue in silent devotion to the end of page 39. Umabir yom umevi laila, umabdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzevaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamidim lo chaleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hamari baravim. Page 40. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, Amchavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochveinu uvkumenu, nasiyach bechukecha. V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege Yomam v'layla, v'avatacha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Page 41. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha Veshinantam levanecha vedibarta habam beshivtecha bevetecha uvelechtecha baderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha vehayu letotafot beinenecha uchtabtam al mezuzot betecha uvisharecha. We continue our private meditations to the end of page 42. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Turn to the top of page 44 with Micha Mocha. Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha Nedar Ba'kodesh, Nora Tehilot Osefele. Malchutacha ra'u vanecha bokayam lifnei Moshe ze'eli anu v'yameru Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'ne'emar kifata Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Let's turn to the left-hand side of page 45. Shelter me in a leaf in the left margins at the top of the page. We'll read responsively in English. Shelter me in a leaf, shelter me in a stone. I envy them their sure peace. Shelter me, God, protect and conceal me. Enclose me in your fences. Make me a path of permanence. My heart is shadowed. Anoint me with your dazzle, which I feel in my breath. On the right-hand side of the page. Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise if you're able for Vishamru, top of page 46. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beinu v'minei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabba v'yamad divara kirute v'yamlech malchute b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei zechol beit Yisrael ba'agala ba'agala u'vizman kari v'yimeru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach Le'olam olam me'ol maya Yitzbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitzpa'ar ve'yitzraman ve'yitznaseh ve'yitzadar ve'yitzaleh ve'yitzalal Shemei dekudesha berechu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'olma ve'imeru amen. The Amidah for Shabbat evening can be found pages 47 through 52. Yanai nai nai yanai nai yanai nai 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 yanai nai 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 yanai nai 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 yanai nai 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 Ose shalom imramav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael Imru amen Ya'aseh shalom Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael Ya'aseh shalom Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael Oh Ya'aseh shalom Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael Ya'aseh shalom Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael V'imru amen. We will offer Kiddush during dinner, so please make sure to stay for Kiddush at dinner. And now we will continue with Kaddish Shalem, page 54. Bagalav is Makarivi Imeru, Amen, Yeheshmera Bamevorach, Leolamalo Meomaya. Yisbarach Vishabach Vipardon Minnesota David Levita Lashmir Kudish Shabirichu Leela Mikobrachata Bashirata Tushbachata Nechamata Da'amira Mamavimeru Amen Tigabas on to Chobe Yisrael Kadam of Hundi Vishmaya Vimeru Amen Yehesh Lamarabba Mishamay Vachayim Lavakwisra Vimeru Amen Ose Shalom Iromav Huyase Shalom Aleinu Vel Kol Yisrael Vimeru Amen. Please rise for Aleinu, page 56. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, atzeit gidula liyoseh reshit, shelo asanu k'moyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samu chelkeinu kahem, v'glor aleinu k'kol ha'olam. Page 57. Temple Torat Yisrael le'olam va'ed ne'emar Haya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz Yom havu yeh Adonai echad U'shemo recall with love, sadness, and fondness those whose yortzites we observe today and into the coming week. David Blumenthal, Sadie Glazer, Morris Jagalinzer, and Bella Mendelowitz. All those in mourning, you may rise. All those observing your sight, you may rise. And those who feel called to say Kaddish, you may rise as well for the mourner's Kaddish on page 58 in Hebrew or English transliteration. Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabba amen. Yomad yorach v'yotzei v'yamalik ma'afutzei. V'chaye kon v'yomei kon v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach v'olam olamei maya. Yitzvarach v'yishtabach v'yitzpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitznasei. V'yitzhadar, v'yitzaleh, v'yitzhalal, shemei v'kudsha v'refu, le'elah, mikol berkata v'shirata, tushbekata v'nechamata, damiran v'yoma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlam araba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom v'imromah, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael. Zichronam livracha, may the memories of all of our beloved be for a beautiful blessing. Let us say. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Please make sure to join us for dinner, but we're now going to get announcements from Michael Katz. Yes, I do with Susan Sullivan.
That's why. I think everybody does.
Because we're wise.
Well, Elaine stepped out, so I don't have the person pointing to me saying, louder, louder. But this thing's right in my face, so I don't think I can do poorly here. First, I'd like to thank the rabbi because it wasn't until about 3 o'clock this afternoon that he learned that the FNL band, David Wasser, Denise Heitman, and Angela Libman, were not going to be able to make it. They tried. I got an email around noon. David was trying very hard, but apparently they were all heading downhill as the day went on. So thank you so much, Rabbi, for stepping up. And I would also like to thank the much larger FNL percussion band for helping this evening. So we do have the beautiful dinner tonight, and thanks to Elaine with help from Joanne Anton and Susan Smaller for setting that up, and Barbara Zanowski. If you notice the beautiful place settings on the tables, that was Barbara's handiwork. Wonderful. Thank you so much. 9:30 tomorrow is Shabbat services, followed by another Kiddush. So if you don't get enough to eat tonight, come to services tomorrow morning, and afterwards you'll have a nice Kiddush luncheon to come to. Everybody probably watching news, listening to news, knows or has some sense of what's going on our college campuses these days with the teaching of the relationship of the Israelis and the Palestinians. If you have thoughts about that, or if you want to hear some other ideas about what the universities and colleges could be teaching about that relationship, please come Sunday morning to hear the rabbi's adult education lesson, which starts at 9 o'clock. Should be very entertaining, very informative, I'm sure, as all his adult education classes have been to date. Let's see, what else is important? And David, you'll have to remind me the date of the URI basketball game, 18th. But if you're interested in going, please contact David as soon as possible so he can know how many people to get tickets for and whether or not we have the group that's necessary. Yes, yes, absolutely. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, you could be witness to a first. As we all learned a few weeks ago, it seems like a few weeks ago, the rabbi has never climbed a rock climbing wall.
Tried. Haven't been successful yet.
So if you come tomorrow night, between 5:30, you probably should get there at 5:30 just to make sure you don't miss it. Between 5:30 and 7:30 at the rock spot climbing in Wakefield, you could be witness to the first time the rabbi makes it to the top.
It'll be a Tu B'Shvat miracle.
Yes. If you can't make it, we're going to make sure that there are lots of pictures. So, yeah, everybody signs that waiver. So that's tomorrow night. That should be very, very, very entertaining. I actually did it for the first time last year. It's a lot of fun, and it's very safe. You're harnessed. There's either a mechanical device or a person holding you to make sure you don't fall very far, very fast. So February 4th, the Rhode Island Blood Center, we're hosting their blood drive on the 4th, Sunday morning. Starts at 8:30. I got a notice from them. Apparently, many years ago, it might have been 2002, the first time that they had their records that we participated. 32 people donated blood. But they came 2 other times after that, and each time only 5 people showed up. So we're shooting for 15, but they say 15. I'm shooting for 33 so that we break the record. So if you can at all, please come for the blood drive. If you can sign up in advance, that'll be best so they can be prepared and they can space people out. The brochure out there gives you a QR code to get to their website so that you can find that appointment. I am told to remind people that some of the things that were not acceptable for blood donors in the past are now acceptable. Some of the medications that people might have been on in the past have been shown to be safe. So if you have any questions and you want to donate but you're not sure you're eligible, call them and you'll find out. Comedy night, March March 2nd. So you've seen it advertised multiple times. Last year the comedy night raised more money than the Yom Kippur appeal. They're trying to better themselves even this year. So please sign up to come to the event. But more than that, if you can donate some things for the silent auction this year, be greatly appreciated. They never have enough. Small things. They don't cost a lot of money. You can buy some scratch-off tickets. They're as cheap as $1 a piece. And they'll have a lottery ticket tree, hopefully more than one, and some other things, gift cards from restaurants, if you have any that you don't think you're going to use. I noticed, I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of restaurants now around the end of the year, if you buy one of their gift cards it's usually $100, you get a $20 gift card free. So if you have one of those laying around, or bring the $100 one if you haven't used it yet. And if if there are restaurants or other vendors that you go to regularly, ask them if they would donate something, a meal, a service that they offer and the like, and please bring those to either Elaine Shapiro or Joanne Anton. I think I'll stop there. There are other things. I mean, we've got a lot going on, I have to say. So it's wonderful. So please join us for as many things as you can. And again, Shabbat Shalom.
We shall conclude with Yigdal, which can be found on page 62. Yigdal Elohim Chai Yishtabach Nimtza V'yenet El Metziuto Echad V'yen Yachi Keichuto Nelam Bekamin Sof Le'achduto Ein Lo Temuta Guf Ve'eino Guf Lo Na'aroch Elav Kedushato Kadmon lechol davar asher nivra rishon v'yin reshi lereshito hino adon olam v'chol notzar yoreg gedulato umalchuto shefan buato netano el anshe segulato v'tifarto lo kam beYisrael kemoshe od navi umabit et emunato Torat emet natan le'amo el al yanevio ne'eman beito lo yachal lipael velo yamir dato le'olamim lezulato Tofevio de asetarenu Mabilis of davar bekadmato Gomel leish chesed kemifalo Noten larashara kerishato Yishlach leketz yamin meshichenu Liftot mechakeketz yeshuato Meitzim Yechael Berov Chasto Baruch Adei Ad Shem Tehilato Meitzim Yechael Berov Chasto Baruch Adei Ad Shem Tehilato Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos, everyone.